guy's been in business for 4 years, Panda's Painting,
Yeah.
and Panda's Home Painting and Renovations has come in the same neighborhood. Super sketchy. I mean, personally, if that happened to me, I would likely go. I would go nuclear.
When your leads are low and your sales are slow, who you gonna call? Brushbuster. Scaling up the
Hey guys, this episode has been generously sponsored by Drip Jobs. If you're looking to save time, close more jobs, Drip Jobs is the CRM built specifically for painting contractors. You can manage your leads, automate your follow-up, build proposals, and send invoices all in one place. And with powerful tools like production rates and job costing, it will allow you to work smarter, not harder. So I really recommend trying Drip Jobs to see how it can help streamline your business. And we have a link for you in the description. Check out the special offer for this podcast now. What is up, everybody? Mike Hickman here, founder of paintergrowth.com, and you're listening to the Brush Busters on the Painter Growth podcast. And this, my friends, is season 2, episode 1 of the new and improved Brush Busters. If we played a new song for the Brush Busters, you're in luck. If we stuck to the old one, we couldn't find a better one in time. Some fun changes for this new season of the Brush Busters. One, we're going to be digging deeper into fewer letters. So really getting to the root of the problems. And we're introducing some of our amazing new coaches. We now have 8 coaches at Painter Growth, and they have all scaled their own 7-figure painting businesses and either exited them or, like Andy, Coach Andy here, still operating them. So I want to introduce to you our newest Brush Buster and coach here at Painter Growth, Coach Andy. Andy, what's up, man? Glad to have you here.
Hey, Mike. How's it going? Glad I'm here. I've been working with Painter Growth for a while. It's a great team, and I've enjoyed my time here and working with a lot of the owners on some of the success they've been having with the program.
Love it. Can you think of any like specific recent clients you've worked with where you helped them work through a challenge in the business?
They've all been killing it right now. I definitely want to shout out Daniel Greven. He's got 4X's business from last year. And right now he's going through some challenges of production, and he's dealing with an actual dumpster fire or a dumpster funnel fire where this material wasn't handled properly. So we're working through that right now, and he's had a lot of success, and he was able to bridge the gap between a pissed off homeowner and a pissed off contractor. So it's definitely a win for him, and I'm happy I've been able to help him with that.
That's a lot of fun. 4X in business. That's no joke.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's jump in. So let's jump into the first letter here. I got a letter here from a gentleman named Rob from Austin, Texas. If you want to submit a question to be answered by us on the next Brush Busters episode, there is a Google form or some kind of form link in the description. Click that, submit your form, submit your question, and we will make sure to answer it as soon as we can. So, hey, Brush Busters. After 2 years since I started my company, I'm finally getting consistent work from referrals, but I want to scale past word of mouth and I'm stuck. I've tried boosting posts and doing some Facebook ads. They're hit or miss. I don't really know a lot about digital marketing. I'm not sure what my next move should be. Should I hire someone to help me with Facebook, try Google, or something else entirely? Feels like I hit a wall. Love it. Happens all the time. Basically, someone grows their business organically, hits a plateau, gets stuck. Where does your mind go first with this, Andy?
Exactly what you said. So it's really easy to kind of hit a plateau and get complacent. With referral businesses, they're nice because you can charge a little bit more with a client because everybody knows your value as a painter, but it's runs out quick. So it's really easy for you to be running a referral business like you have for 2 years, and then all of a sudden there's not enough work or you're waiting for the next job. So the best way is to be proactive with your marketing, right? So the best way I would approach it, if it was me, is I would use kind of like a politician method, right? So you kind of want to identify the house that you're working at, and you want to identify the neighborhood that you're working at, right? So if it's 10 houses or 1,000 houses, you want to want to make that a pocket, right? So you want to recognize the pocket that you're in, and then you want to approach it like a politician, right? So you want to go around, start conversations with the neighbors. You want to shake hands, kiss babies. If you're covered in paint, probably don't kiss any babies. But you want to kind of have your face everywhere. They want to know who you are. You want to dominate that pocket that you're in, so that everybody knows you as the painter, right? So as you're kind of running your business, and you land a job in at a house, go around, start shaking hands, put door hangers up, put signs up. Um, and your signs could have your face on there, just like if you have the see during politics, or sorry, during an election, you see faces everywhere. It's the same thing with painting. They see your face everywhere, or they see your team everywhere. They're gonna recognize you as the guy on that sign, right? Um, there's a good book that I read. It's called Blink, where it talks about how a collector, within 10, 15 seconds of seeing something, they know it's fake. And the reason is because within 10 to 15 seconds, we can recognize things that are wrong and things that should be right. So you walk into a room, a baby, they're not going to look at your Gucci shirt or your Jordans on your feet. They're going to look at your face, right? So your face is your most marketable tool. And as long as you're going around in your pocket and talking to everybody, they remember your face. So when it comes down to painting, they're like, yeah, there was that one guy, the brown guy, is goofy looking. He came by, maybe we'll give him a call, right? So definitely kind of approach that dominance in your neighborhood, and then moving forward, that help you guys generate more work within that same neighborhood.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we have that system that we teach called like the neighborhood blitz or job site
Yeah,
marketing. 100%. I guess where my mind goes with something like, like getting more leads, if that is the challenge, I like to just back up first and make sure that we're solving the right problem first. So with this person, are they like Rob? Are you too busy? Like, do you need to get a hold of your time better? Are you on the tools? Are you off the tools? What's your current revenue at? What are you trying to get at for revenue? And based on like the specifics of that, like let's create a plan that makes sense for you at that level. I think the neighborhood marketing is like 100%. If you're not doing that already, that has to be the first strategy. I like that politician marketing. I haven't heard that before. But the like first, where are you at? How big do you want to go? What are you doing with your time? Getting off the tools should be every painter who wants to grow a business. That should be the number one objective. How quickly can you get off the tools? And then from there, we can start figuring out what this marketing strategy needs to look like.
yeah,
Neighborhood marketing, lawn signs, door hangers, door knocking. Once you have that going consistently, either with a few people, a couple marketers going, or getting your painters to support with that, then we can start adding on some additional things, some email marketing campaigns, some text messaging to your past clients, and max,
Facebook marketing,
yeah,
Google
Facebook,
Ads. Yeah,
maxing Google reviews, things like that. There's a lot to do without having to go the agency route, I think.
exactly. I mean, when I first started my business, I wasn't big on Facebook, but now, like, my mom's on Facebook and I'm not. So, I mean, a lot of homeowners are on Facebook, so Facebook's been great. But definitely recommend it.
Yeah, Facebook can be good, for sure. You need to be on it at least organically. On Instagram, I think Instagram is a little bit, more relevant these days than Facebook.
Yeah, yeah,
So having a good Instagram profile, having, some images, posting regularly, before and afters, job site walkthroughs, having a nice profile with like a good profile picture and an updated
yeah,
bio that's like relevant, says your city, says what you specialize in, some sort of way that people communicate with you and book directly from your profile. It's like your business card these days, your Instagram profile.
exactly. Yeah.
So if someone wants to jump in and get started with like, your politician marketing, how would you recommend someone like jump in and get started if they've never done that before, if they're scared, they're like, I don't want to go door to door. They don't really like that.
Uh, well, I'll tell you my first story. So the first time I ever went door knocking, I was in a franchise system, so I had a turf. I drove 40 minutes to my turf. This was like middle of January. I knocked on the door. They said no, right? I blabbered what I blabbered, whatever. I had my script at the time. They said no. I gave them a hanger, and then I just drove home. And I'm like, I don't want to really do this anymore. Like this is tough, right? Like people told me no, I get nervous. Uh, so the next day I went back. I did 2 hours, still got no leads, right? But on my third day, in 3 hours, I got 6 leads, right? So it is definitely a numbers game. It is a scary thing to do, but you're going to break that barrier once you've done it a few times. Once you put the reps in, it's like anything you do. The more you do, the more results you'll get, and more success you'll have with it as well.
Hmm. I think it's one of those things as well that if you truly believe in what you're selling, it becomes easier. Like you believe in your product, your company, that you guys are the best, you're gonna get the best results. They're better going with you than with any other clients, any other painting business. Um, and you really enjoy money. If money is a thing that you like, I think it's pretty easy to get around it. It's like I can go out for 3 hours and get three estimates and book one job for $6,000. So for 3 hours, I booked a $6,000 job. So let's say 3K gross profit. That's $1,000 an hour of gross profit. Like
Easily.
I don't know about you, but I'll work for $1,000 an hour.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
That's why we get into business, right? You want more time and more money. So you get to choose when you get to knock and you get to make the money you want to make.
And realize that it's not a long-term thing for you to do it yourself, unless you really enjoy it,
Yeah.
which some people do.
Yeah.
But if you get good at it and you get some results yourself, you're going to be able to hire people, teach them how to do it, and then all of a sudden you have little money-making machines going all over your community.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Cool. I feel like that's pretty good for the first one. Should we jump into the second letter?
Whew. Yeah.
You want
Almost
to read this
shut my
one?
pants there. Sure. Okay. Hey, Brushbusters, our company, Pandas Painting, has been rocking it for over 4 years now. We built a solid reputation and tons of happy clients. But recently, a new company popped up called Pandas Home Painting and Renovations. Well, that's only like three more words. Yeah, and almost the same name as ours. At first, I brushed it off, but now we've had a couple of bad reviews come in, and it turns out they weren't even our clients. I think people are getting us mixed up. Don't want to overreact, but it's something I should take. Should I take legal action on, or am I better off letting it go and focusing on what I can control? Curious to hear your thoughts.
So I mean, yeah. So what basically this guy's been in business for 4 years, Panda's Painting,
Yeah,
and Panda's Home Painting and Renovations has come in the same neighborhood. Super sketchy. I mean, personally, if that happened to me, I would likely go. I would go nuclear. I'd go legal. I'd send them something.
right away. Season
Yeah, I
one.
mean, if there was a company that just started in the paint coaching space called like Painters Growth Coaching or something, I'd be like, no, you're going. I'm taking you down. Like, even if
Yeah,
that's legal, there are trade name laws that are in effect that if you publicly use a trade name first, then you have rights over it, even if you don't have your trade name like trademarked or anything, as long as you
yeah,
have used it in a public domain, public area first. So if you can show that like in the last 4 years you've used it publicly, so you post it on Facebook or whatever, you have rights to it. So even though it's not exactly the same, I would still cease and desist that.
easily. Yeah, yeah.
How about you?
And
What comes to mind? What comes to mind for you? I know we're talking about Google reviews and getting a few bad
yeah,
reviews. So,
yeah. So, like, if I go out to a restaurant, the first thing I'm going to do is look up the reviews. Uh, and I'm not really going to focus on the 5-star reviews. I'm going to focus on the 1 or 2-star reviews, right? People have a tendency to kind of focus on the negative more than the positive, and that's very easily done in our industry where we have, you could paint a house 10 out of 10, top to bottom, and leave, but they're telling people like, oh, like they did a good job, but they left a garbage bag there yesterday, or they left a ladder there, right? So it's really easy for people to lean in on those negative reviews. I would respond to those reviews right away. At least then the people that are reading the reviews can see that, hey, maybe this is not the company that's doing a bad job, right? So that kind of saves your ass right away. Allows people that are going to see those reviews instantly be like, okay, they're actually a good company. Maybe they're not the ones that did this. So, um, Yeah, so I would focus on those reviews. Additionally, just like Mike said, cease and desist, right? You gotta go nuclear. Maybe, grab your painters, find out where they're working. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. But definitely try to get control of the situation as much as you can, because it's just going to be a headache for you as you kind of grow into more into the future, and you're dealing with this constantly. And I mean, he could just shut down the business and go nuclear himself, and ruin your business. So be on
Yeah.
top of that as much as you can, for sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is a big deal. It is a big deal and it's a big risk because you've spent 4 years building up this brand name. You have goodwill, you have good customers. There's probably even like an SEO implication too. And yeah, brand confusion is not good. So I would recommend definitely like documenting everything, screenshots of the reviews, any like instances where you can see the clients were confused, and especially like any marketing that you can see especially if it's close and looks like yours. Then I think
Absolutely.
there's like IP lawyers or trademark lawyers. I don't know exactly. Probably just call a few big firms and see if there's any trademark lawyers that you can talk to, and start a case. Um, Respond to reviews like you were saying, Andy. Like really explain that it's not you doing this company. You can probably apply to Google to get them taken down.
Yeah,
But I would say just yeah, attack it as quickly as you can and get on that because that's going to be dangerous if you let that go on without getting them taken down
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
for sure.
And it's your brand name, so you got to make sure everybody knows who you guys are, right? So when I want to look up pandas painting, I want the best. So focus on that. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's jump into the third letter here. So this is about organization accountability from a gentleman named Lucas from Tampa Bay, Florida. Hey, brush busters. I'll be real, things are kind of chaotic right now. I've got jobs going on, estimates to do, a bunch of texts I haven't replied to, and every day feels like I'm just reacting to whatever's on fire. I know I need better systems, but I've tried things like job tracking software and never stuck with it. I think the real issue is me. I'm not holding myself accountable to a routine. Any advice? Man, I love this question. Time management is
I
like
do
my
too.
passion.
Yeah, yeah. We've all been there, Lucas. I know exactly what you're going through, right? So, and time managers is huge. It's definitely something you should kind of focus on. Um, what do you think, Mike? So, what are some things for time management you would suggest there?
So an exercise that we do with a lot of our clients is really simple, but it's just a matter of actually doing it. So like just take out a blank sheet of paper or like a blank Google Doc and start writing down all of the things that you do. And then on the second column, you're going to write how many hours per week you're doing each one of those things. And then on the third column, how many dollars per hour is going to cost you to delegate that. Right. And so what you're looking for is like, you're going to write all the things. All right. I'm picking up paint. I'm driving a site. I'm doing estimates. I'm texting clients. I'm, writing up quotes at home. I'm doing lead follow ups. I'm talking to customers. I'm setting up jobs. I'm closing down jobs. I'm moving equipment, whatever. Write everything down, how many hours, and then how much per hour it's going to take to delegate each one of those things. And all you need to do is identify like one or two items that take the most of your time that's going to cost the least to delegate, and you're going to get this off of your plate, right? And so you'll find like picking up paint, right? Maybe that's taking you 10 hours per week and it's going to cost you 18 hours to delegate. So it's either you find a painter, you delegate that main task that's going to free up 10 hours per week to this painter, or you hire someone to do this thing and they're going to drive your truck and pick up paint for you, and they're going to be like a gopher. You're going to be telling them what to do, right? But it's going to be saving your time instead of you doing it. And then the other part is like looking at the tasks and seeing like, what can I do what that doesn't require me to be there? Can I do anything virtually? Right? Can I like do my job check-ins in the morning over the phone or Zoom instead of actually being there? Can I do my walkthroughs with the client when my lead painter is there, um, and just have my lead painter walk through with me on Zoom? Or can they even do it without me being there?
Yeah,
Right? If you can
yeah.
just remove one thing per week, you're going to find that you have a lot of free time soon, and you'll have more time to focus on these more important things like replying to texts and doing estimates.
After you book the job, the next thing you should do is pick up the check. Everything else should be delegated to your team, to your managers. That way allows you to free up time to focus on all the things that Mike mentioned there.
Yeah. And even picking up the check and doing the walkthrough. Like if you have a good crew lead or a good job site manager, whatever you call it, they should be able to do the walkthrough with you, with the client, and collect the payment and get a Google review without you even being there.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's pretty straightforward. And how you do this is called creating a system, right? And creating a system is a pretty, like, it's a different type of skill set, but you can learn it. It's not rocket science. Essentially, go through a process that you're doing and turn on your phone recorder. Just turn on audio recorder on your phone and do the thing. All right, Mrs. Jones, here to collect the check. Let's do a walkthrough. And then your phone is just going to pick it up and hear all of the things that you're doing. Hopefully, like ideally, you have your lead painter watching you do it so they can observe you and write new notes, understanding things. You do the walkthrough, you get the Google review, you get the payment, and then you can take the audio recording, put it up, post it up in ChatGPT and say, make a process out of this. And now you have a checklist to give your crew lead the next time you do it. Now, the second time, you're going to have the crew lead do it, but you're going to watch them do it. So it's do it, document it, delegate it. Right. And now this time you're going to watch your crew lead do it and you're not going to intervene. So they're going to do the walkthrough. They're going to ask for the Google review. They're going to ask for the payment and you're going to do your best not to intervene, even though it's going to be cringy. And then the next time you can watch them do it, it's going to be better. You give them feedback. And sooner or later, that task is no longer your task.
Exactly. People only pick up 60% of what you hear. So the first time you show them, they're only going to get 60% of it. But the next time you show them, they're obviously going to retain a lot more stuff and they're going to catch on things that they missed the first time.
Yeah, you'd hope that. I mean, if people remembered 60% of what I said every time I said it, probably more like 20%, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that makes sense. But yeah, it's being diligent with your time and not just letting yourself react. Another like cheat code is if a painter asks you or calls you and presents a problem to you, help them find the solution instead of giving them the solution. Like, hey, ring ring, hey, Andy, what am I painting here? Right? Instead of telling them, be like, okay, thanks for the question. Where can you find a list of what we're painting? On the work order. Good.
The work order
Where's the work order? In my
in your
email.
email.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you open it up? Okay. What's it say? Okay. It says
What's
this.
that?
All right.
Yeah.
Do you need anything else? No, that sounds good. Right. So he did it. He figured it out. But what in doing this, you'll also identify potential gaps. It's like, all right, where's the work order? I don't have it. It's like, well, why don't you have it? Because it's never okay. Well, now you need a system to make sure that the crew leads get that work order every time.
Yeah.
Right. So you're identifying gaps by helping them solve their own problems.
Yeah. Preparation is key. Right. So the more time it's like painting a house, right? If you don't prep properly and you paint the house, you're going to keep coming back and solving those problems, which seems to be a common thing here with Alex here, right? It's like painting a house, right? Preparation is key, right? If you don't prep properly and you paint the house, you're gonna keep coming back and solving problems on the house. Paint's gonna be peeling because you didn't prime properly, you didn't scrape properly, and you have some bubbles that are starting to appear. What I like to do is I like to take Sunday as a day to kind of prepare. 80% of your week is planned on a Sunday, right? Sunday evening, you've spent the time with the family all day, and then it's now time to get down to business. So sitting down, planning out what you're going to be doing for estimates, for job site visits if you're doing any visits, making the work orders for your team, talking to your VAs, making sure all your finances are in order, and then your estimates are scheduled, right? So, uh, and then as you kind of go, it's also gives you an opportunity to create time, right? So, I mean, like when I used to work a job, we only had the evenings and the weekends. But now, when you're kind of planning out your week on a Sunday, you can go golfing on a Tuesday afternoon, right? You can take 3 days off anytime you want and go on a trip with the wife, right? So the key is the preparation, which will lead to, combined with the hard work, will lead to a lot of the success that you're going to face when you're running your business.
Hmm. Yeah, my favorite analogy right now is the shop vac analogy. Have you heard that one yet?
No, what's that one?
So it's like when you're coaching someone or you're a business owner, you're always vacuuming up new responsibilities and new things. You're vacuuming up the videos and the templates and the training and the coaching and the recommendations and do this, do that, do another thing. But most business owners are not like a shop vac; they're like a balloon. And so if you turned on a shop vac, but instead of a bag, you had a balloon, what would happen?
You'll just go out there.
It would just
Thanks,
it would
man.
explode, right?
Yeah,
And that
yeah,
explosion is overwhelm and just failure and quitting and giving up and all that stuff. So
yeah,
instead, we need to make sure that all of our owners have the ability to, instead of being a balloon, be a porous bag, be a shop bag, but
yeah,
not a shop bag,
yeah,
where you can remove responsibilities as fast as you're adding them on. So by doing that priority management exercise that we talked about earlier, um, that's going to give you time to focus on what you have to do on Sundays and be more productive during the week. And I think you talked about it briefly, like the time blocking. Like if you can get rid of these reactive things from your plate, you're going to be able to be more responsible with your time blocking and
yeah.
hopefully golf without being on your phone the whole round.
Exactly. Or clients are calling, painters are calling. What's going on? What's happening? Right. So
Yeah,
I remember my first year in business. I remember I was leaving the house and the painters had already destroyed her garden. Right. She had some nice flowers on there. I'm leaving the house and all I'm thinking about is, oh, I got payroll coming up, but cash flow is tight. We painted the wrong color at another house. I got to do color samples, and I'm just driving to Burger King. And on the way to Burger King, I'm just thinking about all the shitty things that happened today. I'm just gonna sit down and eat a burger. And that was the highlight of my night, right? All my problems are gone for 5 minutes while I'm walking down, when I'm eating down a Whopper. Um, and the next day the problem's gonna come again. So you'll have so much real estate in your head that if you have all your problems are in your head, you're not going to be able to think of solutions. So the best thing, like, step one is just writing it down, right? 80% of the problem gets solved just by writing it down. As soon as you write something down, you can actually focus on that problem. And then it allows you to be optimized with solutions for that problem, and solving it a lot quicker than opposed to 10 problems in your head and no solution, right? So write problem, write solution. That's the way I
yeah.
do it.
Write it down, and then you can start working on it. But if you got a million things, million problems in your head, you work on one for like a minute, then you flip to another one, then another one, you get lost, confused, and then you forget about things until they come back in full force. And yeah, not a good way
You're in
to.
trouble if you're dreaming, if all your dreams and nightmares are about paint, because that's all you're thinking about all the time. You're definitely in trouble. So I think everyone's been there before. So
Yeah,
yeah,
awesome. Well, for your first podcast, man, you crushed it. A lot of fun.
yeah. It was my first podcast. I was a little bit nervous. I hope my nerves didn't show too much. It was a great experience and a chance to sit down with Mike, one of the celebrities of the painting industry. So starstruck a little bit right now, but it's a great podcast, and I look forward to recording some more in Painter Growth.
Yeah, man. Well, stoked you're here, and let's keep crushing it with the clients.
Awesome. Cheers.